First of all, please state your names.
My name is Lorna Bell.
Joseph Bell.
My first question for you is, how big of a role did God play in your relationship before and after you got married?
Obviously, before we got married, I asked God to direct me to somebody that I would be able to love for the rest of my life, and that would be a positive person in my life too as well. And God answered my prayers. It took some time, but He answered my prayers, and He introduced me to Lorna. And so here we are together, and God still plays an integral role in our lives, in our day-to-day lives. We pray together, we support each other in our own activities and our collective activities as well. And God is critical in our relationship and in everything that we do and say.
Mm-hmm. And it's likewise, I did pray for a spouse, and I waited, and the introduction came. And at first, we were just going to be friends, and then through talking and working it out, it grew into a friendship and a relationship. And then we realized that both our prayers were answered, and here we are.
All right, thank you. My next question is, when did each of you realize that the other was the right person to marry?
Once Lorna and I started communicating, I realized that, okay, this is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Okay. For me, the moment came in our friendship when we both realized that our relationship with God was a priority for us.
How do you make time for each other?
It's a learning progress, I should say. We, because of our individual work schedule, and by the time we're done, it's evening time. So, normally I would say even on the Sabbath after lunch, we take the opportunity to, go out walking. In the evening time, we started doing studies together. That would just enhance our relationship. But growing up and raising up a young lad like you, it's a lot. So that took a lot of energy from us. But I think we're learning how to spend more time with each other as you have evolved into a more independent person.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to do projects. And so I kind of drag him into my projects, and that's a way of spending quality time with each other. We watch how each other work. We have a good synergy when we do projects together.
All right, thank you. What's your favorite thing about each other?
Mommy's ingenuity in cooking, and whatever she cooks, I eat it.
I like Joseph's calmness.
All right. Other than asking God for advice, how do you go about making major decisions for our family?
That's easy. I think Lorna and I, we come and we sit down together to weigh the pros and the cons as to whatever decision we're making, how it's going to impact us financially, how it's going to impact us as a family. And we have to think of long term. How does it impact us long term as well? So it's easy. We just, we come and we sit down and we talk about what decision we're about to make.
For my next question, I wanted to know which was more enjoyable, your first 5 years of marriage or these most recent 5 years of marriage?
They both had their joys, the ups and the downs, and the disappointment. If I could say, I would think first, in the beginning, it was so blissful. there was a little more joyous moments. But now I think we've settled and we're in a synergy. So I think it's, if I have to say, yeah, we're better balanced now, I would say.
Okay. Mom, what was your honest first impression of Dad?
Our initial conversation started as pen pal without exchanging photos deliberately.
Okay.
So the first time that we met, I picked him up on the airport. He came to visit me, and he was just a very polite gentleman.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah, he was a polite gentleman. He was much like his letter, was very eloquent in our conversations on the phone. And when I met him in person, he was just as polite and gentle.
All right then. Thank you. For this question, I want your honest first impression of Mom.
Okay. It was one, let's say, a loving voice at first hearing, and then when I finally met her after 4 months of courtship, because we were just exchanging letters and on participating in phone calls, but I'd never seen a photo of her.
Okay.
So it's like, what am I coming into? And I was not disappointed in the woman I saw that I would marry for the first time.
All right. Thank you. All right. We're almost done. This question is your favorite memory with each other.
New York East Village. It was a beautiful ending summer, and we were walking the village and we just enjoyed some pizza, and mommy asked me if I have gum, and I said yes, and she asked me where it is, and I said at the house.
That's your favorite memory? Okay. What's mine? On our wedding day, when I come to walk down the aisle, it was that look on your face.
All right. For my final question, if you could give your past selves advice before marriage, what would it be?
Ooh. Wow.
For me, it is planning a wedding, I would say. For me, it's planning a wedding as to what I would do and what I would not do, more or less.
Okay.
And second, I was away living in New York even after we got married. So I would say that, I would have, if I have to do it all over again, that I would probably want to be living with my spouse for at least a year, minimum a year before I decide to get married and follow up with all the plans and so on.
All right then.
Make sure you take your time to get to know your spouse, and you absolutely must discuss the big things in life about raising children, about finances, about career goals. Just have more in-depth conversation of getting to know each other in that aspect, and making sure that your plans and theirs could synchronize together.
All right. Thank you very